Welcome back to another episode of With a Grain of Salt. I'm your host, Isaiah Salter, and I appreciate you for tuning in for yet another week. Another solo pod. You already know the vibes. Today's episode is on patience and gratitude. I was thinking a lot about these two things this past week because I realized that they go hand in hand. It's very hard to be patient without being grateful. And it's very hard to be in a state of gratitude without learning how to be patient. So they work in tandem. So we're definitely going to start with patience. I think the first thing is you have to really change your perspective on patience and really start looking at the things in life that end up being the best things or end up being worthwhile in the long run. They took time. Good things take time. You have to drill that into your mind. Good things take time. Right? So that in itself should let you know that anything that you're trying to strive for that's beneficial for you, it's going to build you up, it's going to help you grow in a certain way, it's going to take time. And understanding that allows us to learn how to be patient and be grateful for where we are, understanding that in this exact moment, we are cultivating that bigger picture that we're searching for, that we're striving for, right? So I think, especially in our society today, we struggle being patient with everything, right? We struggle with patience in everything. And it really has started to cripple us in a lot of ways. You know what I mean? I think a lot of it starts with a lot of people aren't patient with themselves, right? They want to change, they want to grow, they want to do certain things. But if it doesn't happen in a week or in a month, they give up. They say, nah, this is too much. This is too hard. It's too uncomfortable, right? A lot of us are impatient with other people, right? Somebody does something, says something, looks at us a certain way. We don't even have the patience to be able to take a breath and respond rather than react, right? We don't have the patience to build a relationship with somebody. We want it to be how we want it to be from day one, right? We want to move incredibly fast, skip steps, skip bases, right? But it's like, if you rush the process, you're going to get rush results. If you want rush results, then you can rush the process. If you want good, worthwhile results, you have to learn how to embrace patience. I love this by Joyce Meyer, but it's something that I didn't realize she said this until I found it, but it's something that I've said before, and that's patience is not just waiting. It's waiting with an open mind, a positive attitude, the right perspective, right? That's what patience means, because if you're waiting for things to happen, but you're complaining, you're being negative, you're being closed-minded, that's not patience. That's impatience. And that's what majority of people do, right? They're impatient and they wonder why things don't happen, right? They get really resentful or cold-hearted or just too annoyed with how long it's taken, so they just quit or they just give in or they just complain about it. But patience removes complaints. Patience allows you to learn how to embrace where you are, understanding that where you are is a step. It's a part of a greater process, of a greater picture, right? And it's like, depending on your goal, depending on what you're striving for, that's going to determine how long something's going to take, right? Like, if you're overweight and you want to lose weight, you want to have a nice physique, whatever it may be, right? And this is just hypothetically speaking. If you expect to start going to the gym and to see instant changes in your body be completely different and you feel completely different after a week, you're setting yourself up for failure, right? You understand that I am setting a goal to get in shape, to lose this weight. And that goal takes time, right? 3, 4, 5 months. So understanding that allows you to go to the gym every single day and just embrace that day, right? Knowing that we're going to get to that 3-month, 4-month, 5-month mark by staying consistent in the everyday, in this moment, right? And that's what patience is being able to bring gratitude to this moment and be where your feet are, embracing the small little steps of the every single day that you get, right? That's what patience is, and that's what it requires of you. And so when you're thinking about things that you want to do in life, when you're thinking about goals that you want to set, you need to understand the magnitude of that goal so that you understand how long something like this could take, right? Because you need to prepare yourself to be patient. And patience is a practice, right? Some people think, that person's just patient, or they were just born that way, or they're just wired that way. It's like patience is a practice. You can practice patience, just like gratitude. Gratitude is something you have to practice, right? Gratitude is something that you have to practice. It's something that you have to practice on an everyday basis. Patience is something you have to practice on an everyday basis. When you find yourself wanting things to happen overnight, when you find yourself rushing the process, bring awareness to it, catch yourself, and realign. Get back on track. Shift your perspective back to, no, I'm exactly where I need to be. I'm grateful to be alive. I'm grateful that I have this moment right in front of me, and I'm going to make the most out of it, right? Patience. Good things take time. And you have to, like I said, you have to drill that into your mind. You have to keep having that inner dialogue, that inner conversation with yourself. Good things take time because it's normal. It is normal for you to want things to happen overnight. It's normal for you to want to rush things or fall into the trap of creating a timeline that we think things should be on. It's normal, right? It's about learning how to counteract when that thing comes up, or when those emotions come up, or when those voices come up. Excuse me. I'm over here burping. I had eggs this morning, so I think they're coming through the room. Anyway, that's besides the point. But yes, so understanding that can just help you tremendously, just to start viewing, this journey different. And like I was saying, so it's like, it's normal for those things to come up. It's normal for you to have days where you're like, I wish things were happening now. It's normal for you to have those thoughts and feelings, right? But it's about counteracting. It's about every time you feel that way, you have that thought, the second thought to that, your reaction or your response to that is always, but good things take time. But we're embracing the process. But we're staying patient. We're trusting in the larger vision. We're trusting in God's plan, right? Because a lot of times the things God has for you is going to take time. The things God has for you is going to take time. So you have to learn how to be patient. Most people wonder why they feel like they're not getting certain opportunities or certain blessings, but they don't realize that they're just constantly being impatient with life. They're constantly being impatient with their journey or with certain goals or whatever it is that comes into their life. They're constantly being impatient, and they wonder why certain things aren't happening. Because for good things to happen, you have to learn how to be patient. For good things to happen, you have to learn how to be patient. And patience requires you learning how to be present. Patience requires you learning how to be grateful for where you are. Right? That's what allows you to be patient. Because if you're not grateful for where you are, then you're going to be focused on where you want to be or where you think you should be. And that's what's going to be taking all your energy. Right? And that's what's not allowing you to be grateful for where you are, because you're like, where I'm at isn't good enough. I need to be there. I need to be over here. That needs to hurry up. Right? And because you feel that way, it creates that dissatisfaction. Right? And gratitude and dissatisfaction do not go together. Because gratitude is focusing on the things you do have. Dissatisfaction, complaining, is focusing on what you don't have. It's focusing on the lack. It's focusing on how things are taking time, right? Don't allow impatience to steal your joy and to steal your gratitude. And this is where you have to have real conversations with yourself. We're going to say it every episode, because all these things that we're saying, yes, you could read that book, you could talk to that person, you can have mentors, whatever it is. But it comes down to you and you. You have to make these decisions for you. Nobody can make you patient. You must become patient. You must actively choose to become patient. You must actively practice patience on an everyday basis. And over time, because you've practiced it so much, it starts to become who you are. It starts to become your default mode. So now, whenever you're trying a new endeavor, you feel like you're moving into a new season, or you feel like, you're pursuing a certain goal or a vision, patience is your default, because you understand good things take time. And I've learned from my past that when I've allowed things to run their course, when I've stayed patient, when I've not gotten in the way of God's speed, good things have happened. So what am I going to do now that something else has came into my life, or I'm pursuing a new goal or new vision? I'm going to be patient. I'm going to embody patience on an everyday basis, right? And it makes the journey so much more fulfilling when you do that. when you are constantly just staring at the destination or staring at a place that you want to be, all you're doing is taking away from the beauty that lies in this moment, right? You might not think it's beauty because you're so focused on everything going wrong, or you're so focused on what you don't have, so you feel like right here isn't good enough, or it's not beautiful where you are. But if you shift your perspective and your focus to what you have in this moment, and you start to bring gratitude to this moment, it's going to allow you to start seeing all the beautiful blessings that you have right in front of you, rather than thinking that the blessing is somewhere else. The blessing is in this moment, right? Bringing gratitude and intention and love to this moment is where the blessing comes from, right? But we're so focused on everything outside of this moment. I have to get there. I need to be over here. This needs to hurry up. I won't be happy, or I won't be at peace till this, right? We're constantly putting our joy, our gratitude, our fulfillment outwards, away from us, away from this moment, away from the thing that we actually have right in front of us. Patience. Learn how to be patient. Learn how to go with the flow of life. Learn how to adopt the pace of nature, right? I think that was a old English philosopher. I forgot the name, but he said, if you want to know, what did he say? If you want to learn patience, learn how to adopt the pace of nature. Nature flows. Nature is patient. Nature moves through every season gracefully, letting each season run its course at the time it's meant to run at. Right? Nature doesn't get in the way. Nature lets the universal divine timing do the work. We need to do the same in our lives. We need to allow God's plan to work out. Right? God's plan is a long plan. God's plan for your life is a long plan. And that means you have to learn how to be patient, because it's going to take time to cultivate everything in that plan. It's going to take time. So if you struggle with being patient, maybe that's an area you need to start bringing some attention to and intention to in order to start changing that. Because if you're constantly being impatient in this journey, it's going to make your life so much more of a struggle. You know, it's going to make your life so much more of a struggle. It's going to make you so much more miserable, make you feel like you're suffering so much more. It's going to make you feel like your life is never good enough. It's going to constantly be taking your joy and your happiness away from you, right? That's what impatience does. It rushes the process, and then you get rush results. And then when you don't like the rush results, you complain about those too, right? All this time, you're just creating this cycle that keeps causing you to be impatient. And then because you're impatient, you get rush results. And because you don't like the rush results, you become more impatient because you want newer results. The same thing happens. And you just keep becoming more and more miserable, right? You keep becoming more and more unhappy. You keep becoming more and more ungrateful and impatient, right? You have to learn how to embrace where you are with the bigger vision and the bigger picture in your heart and in your mind, right? That's the point of a vision. A vision is to help you see past the current circumstance, right? So if you're in a tough situation, right, or in a tough circumstance, what having a vision for your life does is it helps you to see past that. I know that where I'm at is just a stepping stone. It's just a moment in time in a greater vision. It's just a part of a larger journey, right? And because you understand that, because you rely on vision, because you're leaning on faith, because you are trusting the process, it allows you to be patient because you understand good things take time. And in that time of being patient and allowing things to run its course, you understand that sometimes struggle is going to come into my life. Sometimes discomfort is going to come into my life. Some seasons are going to be incredibly difficult to navigate, but I'm going to continue to stay patient and trust the process, trust in God's plan, right? You got to literally embody that. When you embody trusting God's plan, it's going to organically move you into a posture of patience, right? So you have to learn how to be patient. I love this. It says, see time as your ally, not your enemy. Time allows things to unfold in their own rhythm. That's beautiful. Right? A lot of us like to view time as, oh my gosh, we don't have enough of it. We got to hurry up. I like to view time as a friend, right? Everything is moving at its own rhythm. And time allows for that. Time allows for things to move at their own rhythm. And we get to enjoy that. And we're also in that. Time allows us to move at our own rhythm. Time does not discriminate, right? Time is the same for all of us. It's how we use it. It's how we navigate it, right? It's how we cultivate it. So be mindful of that. You know what I mean? Be mindful of that. I think you also need to shift your perspective on how you look at the journey and how you look at, things that you want to happen. Like, think about how much more worthwhile and how much more fulfilling it will be when you achieve a certain thing, or you attain a certain thing, or you become a certain person after you have put in weeks, months, or even years into something, right? That's what makes it so worthwhile. The fact that you had to go 2-3 years of consistently working at something to reap the rewards, right? And that's why people say I wouldn't take none of that back, because all of what I had to go through to get here prepared me in a way that allows me to be where I'm at right now, right? Patience. So when you have that mindset that literally the thing I am pursuing, the best version of myself, right? I'm trying to walk out God's plan. I'm trying to become the person that God made me to be. I'm trying to become the best version of myself. When you understand the level of that goal, when you understand that that's not an easy thing, that's not an easy process, it allows you to be patient with yourself. I'm learning. I'm still growing, right? I'm still discovering. I'm still exploring. So I need to have patience with myself. I need to have patience with the journey. I need to have patience with God's plan, right? You need to have patience with God's plan. If you want some ingredients, I can give you 2 ingredients right now that you need in order to really walk out your most authentic and aligned path. Patience and gratitude, right there. Those are 2 ingredients you need to learn how to embody if you really want to become the best version of yourself. If you really want to become the highest version of yourself. If you really want to walk out the plans that God has for you, you have to learn how to sprinkle in a little bit of patience and sprinkle in a little bit of gratitude every single day. Every single day. Another thing, right? Another thing that patience allows for is it makes us start living really in the present, right? It forces us to start living in the present. And when you're grounded in the present, it reduces so much stress and anxiety. When you are grounded in the present, it reduces so much stress and anxiety, because so much of our stress and anxiety comes from constantly trying to change things that we have no control over, constantly focusing on things that we have no control over, constantly focusing on things that are outside of this moment. So when you start to ground yourself and become more present, you start to take all that energy that you were giving to things outside of this moment and you start to bring it here. And guess what that creates? Less stress, less anxiety, more gratitude, right? And it's a beautiful thing when you do that. It's a beautiful way to go through this life, embodying patience, learning how to be patient, allowing life to run its course, allowing things to take time, right? If you want to have a relationship with somebody, you're not gonna you're not gonna be like, all right, let's just do what we got to do for a week and then we're good. No, you understand that a relationship takes time to develop, right? All right, let me run that back. If you want to be in a relationship with somebody, you're not just after a week going to be like, all right, I want to marry this person. No, you understand that to get to the point to where I want to be in a relationship with this person, to get to the point where I want to marry this person, it's going to take time of getting to know them, having experiences with them, communicating with them, right? You understand that, so you're patient with that relationship. You're patient with that person. You need to be patient with yourself. You need to be patient with your journey. You need to be patient with God's plan. You need to allow for things to develop, for things to cultivate, for you to be prepared, right? What good is it to get a blessing if you're not prepared to handle it? So rather than praying for the blessing all the time, start praying for the preparation to maintain the blessing, right? Patience, gratitude. Those are 2 things that are required for you to maintain blessings in your life. You need to learn how to be patient with the journey. You need to learn how to be grateful for where you are and not focused on where you aren't, Be grateful for what you have and not focus on what you don't, right? Be grateful for your journey and not focused on somebody else's, right? Patience and gratitude. Patience and gratitude. And you just got to trust in the process. Be patient with yourself and trust in the process. If you just focus on, okay, every single day I'm just trying to be the best I can in that day. It's not about being perfect. Like we always say, progression over perfection. Every single day I'm just trying to get up and be the best I can for that day. And I'm going to keep on doing this over a long period of time. What do you think will happen? If you do that for a long period of time, I'm talking 6 months, a year, 2 years, 3 years, what do you think will happen? Where do you think you will be? Every single day, you just try to make the most out of that day. One step at a time, one moment at a time, 1% at a time. Think about where you'll be a year from now, 2 years from now, right? But we want things to happen overnight. We want to take 10 steps in a day, right? We want to, rush the process and have things happen right now. We want to become the best versions of ourselves in 2 weeks. But we don't understand that a lot of times it's going to take years of cultivation, right? And there's really never an end point, especially in this journey of growth and healing and becoming all of who you were made to be. There's no end point. It is a constant journey. So if you don't have patience, you're going to make that journey just a long journey of misery and suffering. I dropped my pen. But it's okay. So you definitely, it's incredibly important. But you got to understand it's going to take time. Good things take time. Good relationships take time. Growth takes time, right? Healing takes time. Becoming successful takes time. Working on projects and building something takes time. Building a brand takes time. Building a business takes time, right? Becoming good at a certain profession or in a certain field takes time. Patience. You have to be patient. Patience, right? And this is where, like we said earlier, you have to be your best friend. You have to be there for you. Because when you find yourself becoming impatient, make sure you can check yourself and bring yourself back to this present moment and understand that good things take time. I'm grateful for where I am. Where I am is a step in a bigger picture of where I'm trying to get to. Patience, gratitude. All right. Now we talked about gratitude with patience, but now let's specifically talk about gratitude because, like I said, they work in tandem. Gratitude. I saw let me look it up. I saw this quote that I took a screenshot of, and I loved it. It says, "Constant gratitude is the secret to manifesting anything." Before y'all get woo-woo, we're going to do a whole episode on manifestation because I think a lot of people hear that word and they get really bugged out about it, but we need to really break down what it means and where it comes from and the whole idea behind it. But for those who do have a healthy idea of what manifestation is, the reason constant gratitude is a secret to manifesting is because when you're in a state of constant gratitude, you're not attached to certain outcomes or certain things that you don't have, right? You're not constantly trying to search for this thing or grip onto that thing or have this thing and be like, oh, I need all these things. No, gratitude is allowing you to be grateful and present for where you are. Right? For where you are and what you do have. And what that is doing is it's creating space for the right things to come in. That is what gratitude does. It creates space for the right things to come into your life. Right? But so often we're not grateful because we feel like we need that thing. We feel like we need that person. We feel like we need to be over there. Right? And so we attach ourselves to that thing, that person, or that place. And we fixate on it. And we won't ever be happy. We won't ever be fulfilled until we get that thing or that person or be at that place, right? And what you're doing by creating that attachment is you're focusing on the things that you don't have, taking away from the things that you do have, and you're blocking off other things that want to come in because you're not open that way. When you're attached to a certain outcome or a certain place or a certain person, you're not open. Your heart is closed, right? You're saying, I only want that thing. I'm attaching myself to that thing. I'm attaching my happiness and my joy to that thing. So anything else that comes that's not that thing, it doesn't matter, right? But when you're grateful for where you are and you embrace this moment and you focus on what you do have, what you start to do is create space. Your heart starts to open, and that openness allows for any and everything to come in, right? The right things to come in. And that's a beautiful thing, because so often when we just open ourselves up and we allow the right things that are meant for us to come in, we realize that things that we would have never thought would be a blessing or something that we would, that would bring us joy or fulfillment does. It's crazy. Oh my gosh, this thing is the blessing. This is an opportunity. This is what God was trying to bring into my life. I would have never guessed. Yeah, we know you would have never guessed. I know you would have never guessed, right? That's why it's so important to just be open to what God has, open to what life has, because it's going to come in a multitude of different ways. But if you attach yourself to one way, one thing, you're blocking off all the other possibilities, right? And a lot of times the thing we attach ourselves to isn't even the thing that's meant for us. We're attaching ourselves to that from a place of ego. We're attaching ourselves to that from a place of insecurity, right? From a place of lack. And if you think that getting something that you're attached to from that place will bring you some sense of fulfillment, joy, or peace, I'm here to tell you it won't. And I mean that in the most loving and caring way. And if you do find yourself doing that, like I always say, we're not going to sit here and get discouraged. We're not going to put our heads down and feel like we're worthless now. No. What an amazing opportunity we have to shift, to start focusing on this moment, to start bringing gratitude to this moment, to start embodying gratitude, to start focusing on what we do have, right? I always say that there's an opportunity if you're doing it, and there's an opportunity if you aren't, right? So if you aren't doing certain things that you want to be doing, if you are doing things that are hurting you more than they're helping you, you have an opportunity in that to change it. So don't feel discouraged because you're not doing something. Don't feel discouraged because you are doing something. Understand both of those things, no matter where you are, what part of the world you're in, or what part of your journey you're in, there's an opportunity for you. And your opportunity is unique to you, right? So you need to lean on that. And if you are being consistent, staying disciplined, devoted to the journey, taking care of what you need to take care of, there's an opportunity in that too, to keep on taking steps in the right direction, right? To focus on not becoming complacent and comfortable. There's always opportunities constantly around us. And guess what lies in opportunity? Blessings. Blessings lie in opportunity. So when you start opening yourself up and you start to find the opportunity in everything that's going on in your life, you're going to start finding blessings all over the place. Then you're going to feel abundant. You're going to feel like life is constantly happening for you. You're going to feel a constant state of fulfillment and joy and peace, because you understand that life, it doesn't matter what you throw at me. It doesn't matter what I'm going through. It doesn't matter what season I'm in. There's opportunity in it. And because there's opportunity in it, there's blessings in it. And that right there in itself, that's gratitude. I'm grateful for where I'm at because I know there's an opportunity in it. And I know that with opportunity comes blessings. And I'm grateful. I'm grateful. Man, I'm grateful, right? If you're somebody that struggles being grateful, hasn't really practiced it, one thing I would tell you to do daily is write down, when you wake up, 3 things you're grateful for, and before you go to bed, 3 things you're grateful for. 3 things you're grateful for in the morning, and then at night, write 3 things that you were grateful for that happened throughout the day before you go to bed. You're training yourself to be grateful. That's part of gratitude. That's part of embodying gratitude. You have to train yourself to be grateful in order to eventually be on a basketball team, right? Let's say you've never played basketball before, or you haven't been going to the gym, you haven't really touched a basketball in a long time. In order to train yourself to be on that team, or in order to get on that team, you have to train yourself on an everyday basis and build up your skill over time. And eventually you get to a place to where you're able to be on the team and operate daily and consistently like that, right? It's the same with gratitude, right? If you're somebody who hasn't been as grateful as you wanted to be, or you're trying to work on gratitude and it's not something you've leaned into before, then in order to start embodying gratitude and become a person who lives that out, it's going to take practice over a period of time. And through that practice, you start to get better and better and better over time, until eventually gratitude becomes your default. It's the thing you know, it's the thing you resort to because you've practiced it over a long period of time. But the thing about it is, just like anything, when you start something for the first time, you're probably not going to be the best at it. It is probably going to bring some discomfort, right, and some adversity, because you're trying something, you're leaning into something that you haven't done before or haven't done that much before. You need to learn how to shift your perspective on discomfort and struggle, right? And not being good at something. You need to understand that that is a part of the process. It's not, okay, I want to grow, and then automatically you're just good at everything. It's not, okay, I want to be a good basketball player, and then automatically you just pick up a basketball, you can shoot threes and do whatever you want. You have to practice at it. You have a goal, right? So first we set the goal. The goal is, all right, I want to be more grateful. Now we backtrack. So we see where we're trying to get to, and now we backtrack, right? So what are the things that go with becoming a person who's grateful? Well, I need to start focusing more on what I do have rather than what I don't have. Well, how do we do that? Because right now, right, if we're not intentionally doing that, our focus is the things that we don't have. So here's how we're going to start. We're going to start by, when we wake up, we're going to write down the first thing that we do. We're going to write down 3 things we're grateful for. So we're starting our day off with gratitude. We're starting our day off at the baseline with the mindset that I'm being grateful. I'm starting off with gratitude. And before you go to bed, you're going to write down 3 things that you were grateful for from that day. And that's how you're going to go to bed, just like that. And you're going to do that over a period of time, right? And what's going to start to happen is you're going to start to build momentum. You're going to start to get better at it, right? And now when you wake up, it's not even going to be a thought. You're going to already be thinking about 3 things you're grateful for before you even touch a pen and paper, because it's become your default, right? And obviously there's more ways to build gratitude. That's just one example. That's one tangible example you could do. You could start today with that, right? And just keep on working over time. But you have to understand, when you start something new, when you want to become a better version of yourself, when you want to grow, it's going to cause a lot of discomfort. It is going to bring a lot of discomfort. And so when it comes, don't retreat. Don't run away. Don't say, oh, this is too painful, I can't do this. No. Mentally prepare yourself now for when that time comes, because it's coming. It's inevitable. When you want to do something that's worthwhile, when you want to grow, you need to understand discomfort is coming with that. So mentally prepare yourself to understand that when the discomfort comes, that means I'm doing the right thing. I'm doing the right thing. That's where a lot of people get wrong. It's like, okay, I want to be better. I want to start doing this thing. I want to grow this way. And then when the discomfort comes and life gets hard, they feel like something's wrong and they immediately resort back. No, that ain't for me. I didn't know it was going to be like that. Whoa. I'm telling you right now, it's going to be like that. You want to grow? Get ready for discomfort. You want to be better? Get ready for discomfort. You want to learn something new? Get ready for discomfort. Learn how to embrace it, right? And what's going to start to happen, going back to gratitude, is when you start to feel discomfort, you're going to start being grateful for it, because you understand that the reason I'm feeling discomfort is because I'm growing. It's because I'm moving in the right direction. It's because I'm doing something that's worthwhile, and I'm grateful for that. Gratitude. Patience. Because you understand that good things take time, and you're trying to grow. Growth takes time. You're trying to heal. Healing takes time. You're trying to become better. Becoming better takes time. You're embodying patience along the journey. You see how they all work in tandem like that? All these things that we talk about, they all work together. So when you start to change one, it flows into another. And then you start to see that. You start to become aware of that. Oh my gosh, I'm starting to become more patient. And then that flows into something else. And it just keeps on going all around you. And because you're embracing that process, everything about you is starting to become better. You're starting to become better. That is what becoming the best version of yourself means. In all aspects of life, becoming the best version of yourself is all aspects of your life. Mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, relationally, right? All that. So something that helps me a lot with gratitude too is expressing my gratitude to other people on an everyday basis. Like I really mean it when I tell people I appreciate them. I'm grateful for you. I'm grateful to have you in my life. I mean that, right? And that it goes such a long way because a lot of people aren't getting that. A lot of people, because we're not in a state of gratitude, we're always focused on what we don't have, and we're missing out on opportunities to express gratitude to other people, to tell people how much we really appreciate them and are grateful for them and are thankful for them, right? And they say if you're having a bad day, do something for somebody else. Lift somebody else up, and it's automatically going to lift you up as well. It's not saying overextend yourself and say yes to everything and just do something like, no, that's not what it's saying. Not pour from an empty cup. It's saying that if you're feeling down, maybe you're in your head a lot, maybe you're falling into a state of being impatient and being, ungrateful. Well, let's go do something for somebody. Let's send a gratitude text real quick, right? Let's roll down the window and tell that person, hey, how you doing? When we're walking by, hey, have a great day. Let's hold the door for somebody. Like little stuff like that. It goes a long way. It builds up over time. Everything plays a part in your development. Everything plays a part in your reality. Everything. Don't take anything for granted. Don't overlook any part of this life. All things are playing in unison, in a collection for you, either for the betterment or for the worse. And it's on you. It's on you. It is on you. I love the patience and gratitude. I couldn't wait to do this episode this week because I was thinking about it all week, and I was just like, man, these two things have completely changed my life. Patience and gratitude. Brene Brown. I told y'all about her like two episodes ago that I said I was trying to get into her. She said, I don't have to chase extraordinary moments to find happiness. It's right in front of me if I'm paying attention and practicing gratitude. I say this in a multitude of different ways, but it's the truth. So often we miss out on the blessings that are right in front of us because we're constantly focused on everything outside of this moment. Constantly, right? Constantly. So we never take the time to just pause and be where our feet are and realize how many beautiful opportunities and blessings we have right here, right now. Because we just get so caught up in looking at everything else, everybody else's life, or creating these pictures of what we think our life should be like right now. And if it's not that, we're failing. We're doing something wrong. This isn't good enough, right? And you're just creating this cycle of impatience, no gratitude in your life, right? Maya Angelou, we may encounter many defeats, but we must not be defeated. So good. We may encounter many defeats, but we must not be defeated. In life, you're going to fail. You're going to make mistakes. You are going to mess up. You are going to hit roadblocks. You are going to hit walls of adversity. You are going to get knocked down a lot, right? But you must never become defeated. You must never say, I'm done. You must never quit. Because the only guarantee in life is that you will not get to where you want to be. You will not become the best version of yourself. You will not achieve the things that you want to if you quit. That is a guarantee in life, right? That is a guarantee in this journey. If you quit and you say, I'm done and I give up and I'm just settling, I'm just not going to put myself out there, I'm not going to try it, I'm not going to go for it, you're guaranteeing it not working. You're guaranteeing getting the same life you've been living, right? And if that don't scare you, if that don't at least wake something up in you, I don't know what will. Because even just saying that makes me think, like, imagine if I lived my life like that for 30, 40 years, where I just settled and I was just like, nah, it's just, I'm chilling. Nah, man. And then you get to a certain age where you realize why you didn't do it. And you're looking at other people who did do it. And you're like, man, I wish. Well, you can't go back. You cannot go back. And that's when time becomes your greatest enemy, right? But that don't have to be you. I don't care how old you are. I don't care what you look like. I don't care where you're from. It doesn't have to be you. Make that decision today. It doesn't have to be you. It's not going to be me. I'm not going to live my life like that. I don't care how many people do. I don't care how many people settle. I don't care how many people don't stay true to themselves. I'm not going to do that, right? That's courage. That takes courage to do that, but you can do it. And the great thing about communities like this is that it shows you that you're not alone. It shows you that there's other people out there trying to become the best version of themselves, trying to achieve great things, trying to heal, trying to grow. You can do it too. And if somebody's done it, you can do it. If somebody's done it, you can do it. No question. So, yeah, I think that's going to wrap up the episode. Not too long, we don't need to be on here for hours, but yeah, patience and gratitude. Really learn how to embody those. And if there's anything like specific that you guys want me to talk about or want me to answer, or maybe you want me to lean into more, let me know in the comments. DM me on Instagram. I try my best to reply to everybody. Can't always get to everybody, but I try my best to get to everybody. So yeah, definitely let me know, because I know this stuff is like new to some people, but I can tell you from experience how much this stuff matters. And I try my best to speak from experience and from a place of authenticity, of living it out, and of went through some stuff. I can't even speak this morning, but it's okay. So yeah, let me know what's on y'all minds. I appreciate y'all more than y'all know. I really mean that. I just want to take a section of this podcast episode to express my gratitude for each and every one of y'all. Right, I think we're at like 416 or 420 subscribers. Bro, I appreciate each and every one of y'all. Like, it means more to me than y'all know. Everybody that's following on Instagram and been showing love to the post, I appreciate y'all. You know what I mean? Like, incredibly grateful for y'all, because what I do is really an extension of all of us. It's an extension of the people I meet on an everyday basis, the people that have helped me grow into this person, the people I've talked to, the people that have inspired me, the people that have supported me, the people that have helped me grow, right? So, yeah, I just appreciate y'all. I'm incredibly grateful, and I'm staying patient with this process, and I love it. I love every single day just waking up and getting a little bit better and trying new things and pushing yourself and seeing what the limit is. I love it, and so we're going to keep on doing it day by day, step by step. So, most importantly, remember to take everything with a grain of salt. I will catch you guys next week. Deuces.